The three metrics are going to be performance, it's going to be multiplied by availability, and last but not least, multiplied by your quality. So those three metrics are extremely important, and the discussion around OEE, at least in my conversations, is always around how do we get that information, how do we get that data, and how do we interpret that data. And what I can tell you is that, again, it is different from plant to plant, but more importantly, it is different from industry to industry. If you look at chemicals, if you look at oil and gas, if you look at home goods, or if you look at pharmaceuticals, the reality is that they're not always going to track, but also to convert the raw data into OE the same way. So it's important to understand these principles, but at the end of the day, you need to ask the questions as to how they're doing those transformations and calculations to give you the OE when you're looking at different facilities. So let's start with performance. So performance is, I don't want to say the most easy one to understand, but ultimately you have a machine that is set to run at a specific rate. And once again, this is going to be dependent on your machine. This is going to be dependent on your process, but your machine is not always going to run that set rate. For example, if I have a machine that's going to be doing 500 parts per minute, the machine is going to be slowed down for a variety of reasons. So reason number one, if you're running at lower speeds, your operator might choose to reduce the speed in order to reduce the quality defects into what we're going to get into a little bit later. But ultimately, if we're looking at 1 hour, your performance of that machine, instead of being 500 times 60 minutes, which is what you would expect, it would be 400 times the 60 minutes divided by that 500 rate. So ultimately, if you were to do a very basic calculation without anything else, you would be dividing 400 over 500, and that would be the percentage for the performance for that specific machine.